Welcome to Scrap Collector, a Rust movie. Let's run it. In today's video, we're gonna run monuments for components and PvP. Stack up scrap from a hidden ranch exploit. Upgrading our workbench and getting blueprints. And finally, control our area by eliminating anyone who gets in our way. Let's get a recap. We started the day by setting up a 2x1 in the jungle, then made our way up to the river and started our farm, ending the day by running monuments to get scrap and blueprints. Enough wasting time. Now let's get into the adventure. Alright, so it looks like we're not raided today, so we have a few things on the agenda. Starting off, I'm probably gonna go get some of my plants picked up, some of that cloth ready to go, and then probably go check on the other base, make sure I'm not raided there either, and then probably try and figure out if I can get a tier 2 or not. Now that we have some of the cloth clones ready to go, probably gonna go outside and check the vending machine to see if we have any sales yet. Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh, and nothing sold. Alright, now I'm gonna spend a little bit of time changing up what I'm selling real quick, and then I'll get back to you guys. Alright, because it's day 2 and I don't have a tier 2 yet, just kind of selling all my cloth for anything I can get, either blueprint frags or just straight up a tier 2. It's a little bit overpriced, but you never know, there might be a clan with some blueprint frags or a tier 2 laying around. Check back on this a little bit later to see if anything happens. Alright, so yeah, it looks like this base survived too, even though I still got a wood door on it, but be what it be. I probably need to do some upgrading on this throughout the day, but we'll get to that a little bit later. First off, I'm just gonna get the base a little tidied up and then probably head out on a little expedition after this. Try and go get a blueprint frag, or at least like a blue card or something. At this point, we're kind of running out of space in the 2x2, so I'm going to toss one of these little triangle shelves on here and try and get some more boxes so that I can fill up some more of this loot, because the last thing I want to happen is waste some kits or something just because I don't have any space. And there we go. Now we got 2 large boxes and a couple of small boxes, so we'll have plenty of space for right now, at least for the amount of loot that I have at the moment, but probably got to expand it a little bit. Alright, now that the base is all set up and ready to go for right now, I'm going to head out, try and get a boat, and head over to some of the other monuments that are nearby. Try to start out by probably going to Ferry Terminal, getting a green card, and then either heading over to Sewer or Harbor for my blue. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Alright, well this is perfect. There's a boat right here in the river, so as long as I can maneuver this thing through, we'll just take this over there. I might have to hit a low-grade barrel here or there to get there, but I guess we'll see. Alright, we have arrived. Let's go see if there's a green card here or not. Hopefully there is, because if not, I'm kind of screwed. Alright, moment of truth. Is it here? Oh, thank God. Perfect. Alright, I'm gonna loot the rest of this monument. If I find anything good, I'll let you guys know. Oh wow, 2 green crates right next to each other. Holy shit. I don't think I've ever gotten a green crate that's good. Holy shit. A SAR and a rifle bottom? I continued on looting the monument, grabbing scrap and tossing it in the recycler until I had enough loot to continue my journey. I decided on the sewer branch to get my blue card. However, I needed to find a fuse card first, as a fuse had eluded me up until this point. So I continued hitting barrels until I found this. Now that I had a fuse, I was able to go into the monument and get the precious blueprint fragment and blue card that I would use later. Alright, here we go. Oh, I gotta get something out of my inventory. Shit. Just toss the bandages. What else? Hoodie? Yeah, sure, why not? There we go. Alright, now that I have a blue card, I'm probably gonna head back to the boat and then get out of here. Because I don't want to stay here any longer than I'm welcomed. With the fragment and blue card secured, I made my way back to my boat on my horse and started my long journey home when I noticed something in the distance that caught my eye. Well, I was gonna run the green card here too, but I didn't even notice that cargo was coming in right as I got here. So I'm probably gonna put that on hold for right now, unless I want to get instantly killed. So I depoted my blue card and fragment, and then headed right back to cargo with the best kit that I had. Alright, so the odds of me winning this fight are pretty low with the Revy, but I mean, it ain't gonna hurt to try. Let's see what I can do. Okay, I made my way on and made it all the way up to the captain's deck, and I'm pretty sure they're right above me. So I'm gonna see if I can catch one of them lacking. Oh shit, there's one right here. Killed one. Gonna jump up. Well, shit. After tossing a little heartfelt apology in the chat, I decided it was time to get back to grinding for that tier 2. This time, instead of making the long trek over to the monuments on the other side of the map, I decided I would use my blue card at the water treatment plant that was right outside my doorstep. However, once I arrived at the monument, I received a message that the monument had just been run and it was resetting at that moment. So I decided to hang out and loot some boxes while I waited. However, on my way around the monument, I ran into somebody. Oh shit, what the fuck? Oh my god, I fired. I mean, alright. You know what? I'll take it. After making it home from this adventure, I tossed a little message in the chat and geared up to head right back out again. However, the quest to get a red card would have to wait for now, as my furnaces were looking a little shallow, so I headed out to fill them up. Once completing the farm trip, I got my gear together and headed back to the water treatment plant to get more fragments and a red card. Oh, perfect. There's some boxes here. Let's see what I got. Ooh, there we go. Fragment. Cooking workbench. Oh, wait, what the fuck? I didn't know there was a fragment there. In the red card room, there was 3 more blueprint fragments, which gave me enough to create my tier 2 when I got home. Arriving home, I depoted all my loot, and then thought it was finally time to start upgrading the base. After finishing up the base, I decided to use my scrap on what I could, and then headed back over to the farm to check on our money-making operation. But more on that later, as I needed to head back to the base to get some more blueprints for the rest of the wipe. I was after an oil refinery and garage doors to finish up the base, as the added protection would be needed with a small base. Needing low grade to get my oil refinery, I headed to the harbor to get that there. Once I had enough for the oil refinery, I headed back, but first I stopped at the farm base to change up some of the things that I was selling, as I had a tier 2 now and didn't need frags. Once I arrived back at the base, I finished up the little pod I made for my oil refinery and placed it down there. With that mission complete, I decided to upgrade the base a little bit and clean up my loot. And with all this new space, I decided to get the electric furnace blueprint, as I had an excess amount of farm and didn't really feel like going out and getting wood at this moment. If you want to figure out how to make an easy to use auto smelter, check out my shorts page, as I have a full guide there. With my smelting taken care of, I decided to head over to the farm and harvest my crops. There, I was finally able to get my first harvest of the roses. These roses sell for lots of scrap at the ranch, and this is the hidden exploit that not a lot of people know about. And if they don't, it's a crucial way to get scrap for your next wipe. As you can see here, I got over 600 scrap just from selling the roses. And from that single harvest, I'd be able to do this over and over again for the rest of my wipe, basically getting a free horse every time I logged in, along with a treasure mission. Arriving back at my base, I decided it was time to get some upgrades. So I headed to the Tier 2 workbench and got all the way down to guns that I needed. The main one being the P2, one of my favorite guns. With the new firepower, I headed out and got my treasure, hitting nodes along the way. With some of these newfound resources, I went over to my farm base and upgraded some of the wooden parts to ensure its safety. Arriving home, I depoted all the loot and then headed outside to construct the entrance to my base, making sure to put a bunker in there for maximum offline raid protection. Also adding in some garage doors for extra protection. With those, I headed outside. However, I encountered a couple wolves on my travels. After that little run-in, I decided to toss my kit in the box and head over to the farm. After planting some blueberries for Ortiz in the future, I headed back to the water treatment plant in search of more loot. After returning home and depoting, I headed back out on a little roam. This time I ran into a naked running outside his base. After killing the naked and looting him, his friend decided to pull up too. This didn't end up well for him, however. Once I found him, he had some very choice words for me before I ended him.
Suck my dick.
How nice of him.
Helen Kelly.
Returning home, I placed down a cooking workbench to get some sulfur cooking, as I would need this for later on raids down the line. Our story picks back up when I noticed that there was a heli crash nearby, so I grabbed a SAR kit and headed over. After those jump scares, I started to head home. However, I didn't make it very far before I got jumped again. Without walls, I failed to make it out of this one alive. As it was getting late, with that loss, I decided that was the last thing I would do for day 2. If you aren't already, please subscribe to my channel, as I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers to get monetized. The continuation for this story will come out soon, and that video is full of raids, oil takes, and more, so be on the lookout. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching.